Hello, Mr. Andrea Anugrah. Hello, everyone. This is our group. We would like to present about textual equivalence, and the member of the groups there are me, Akbar Mardiah, Nur Sayyidah, Mayda S, and Rio Rudiansyah. So the first material will be explained by Rio Rudiansyah. Please, Rio, come to the stage.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I start this presentation, I would like to ask you with a simple question, what is textual equivalence? So the textual equivalence is when referring to equivalence between a source language text and a target language text in terms of information and cohesion. So the textual equivalence is a very important feature in a translation since it provides useful guidelines for a comprehension and analysis of the source text, which can help the translator in his or her attempt to produce a cohesive and a coherent text for the target text audience in a specific context. So it is up to the translator to decide whether or not to maintain the cohesive as well as the coherence of the source language text. So his or her decision will be guided by three main factors. Remember, three main factor is the first one, the target audience. So the second one is a purpose of translation, and the last one is a text type. So the next slide is the equivalence in the terms of information is cohesion. So number one is reference. The reference is a terms and traditionally used in semantics for relationship which holds between words and what it points in the real world. So according to Mona Baker in 1992 at chapter 181 is the reference of chair would therefore be a particular chair that is being identified on particular occasion. So I will make it look easy with the simple example is Miss Thatcher has resigned. She announced her decision this morning. So the pronoun she is a points to Miss Thatcher within the textual word itself. So the next slide will be read by Akbar Mardiah. So Akbar Mardiah, take your turn.
Okay, here I would to explain substitution and ellipses. According to Baker 1992, page 186 on page 187, unlike reference, substitution and ellipses are grammatical rather than semantic relationships. In substitution, an item is replaced by another item, while ellipsis involves the omission of an item. In other words, in ellipsis, an item is replaced by nothing. Substitution has a different, the definition is the replacement of an item by another item. Kayak jadi penggantian satu kata dengan kata yang lain. For the example is, you think John already knows? I think everybody does. Does in here replaced by knows. And another example is, I like movies, and I do. And the example, do is substitute for like movies. Jadi contohnya itu kayak, knows di sini diganti sama does, yang artinya juga sebenarnya sama. Terus juga yang I like movies and I do menggantikan kata dari movies yang artinya juga kayak sama-sama suka sama film. Itu kalau ellipsis is the omission of an item atau pengurangan kata atau penghilangan kata. Contohnya for the example is John bought some carnations and Catherine some sweet peas. Di sini jadi ellipsis, pause-nya in the second clause dihilangin. Jadi kayak langsung aja kayak Catherine some sweet peas. Jadi nggak ada kata bout-nya dihilangin. So the material next will be explained by Mayda. So it's your turn, Bella.
Conjunction. Conjunction involves the use of formal makers to relate sentences, clauses, and paragraphs to each other. That is according to Baker 1992. Types of conjunction. Additive or in Indonesia is tambahan and or also in addition, furthermore, besides, similarly, likewise, by contrast, for intensity. B. Adversative, or in Indonesia is perlawanan atau kontras, but yet, however, instead, on the other hand, nevertheless, at any rate, as a matter of fact. C. Causal, in Indonesia is sebab akibat, so consequently, it follows for because under the circumstances for this reason. D. Temporal, or in Indonesia is urutan. Then next after that on another occasion in conclusion an hour later finally at last. E. Continuatives, or in Indonesia is kelanjutan. Now of course, well anyway. For the example conjunction, now people are realizing that modern ceramic materials offer very superior properties for many industries. So is this brochure necessary? In this text, the conjunction are now and so. Now is continuative conjunction and so is causal conjunction. Next, the next slide will be explained by Nur.
Okay, thank you, Bella. So the next part is lexical cohesion. Lexical cohesion refers to the role played by the selection of vocabulary in organizing relation within a text, according to Becker, 1992. In the other words, lexical cohesion is basically created by general nouns or repetition of the same lexeme, or the use of other lexical relation as cohesive patterns. There are two types of lexical cohesion. The first one is repetition. The repetition of a lexical item means of a synonym or near antonyms, a superordinate or a general terms. For example, which dress are you going to wear? I will wear my green frock. Jadi kata dress and frock itu kayak sesuatu yang sama gitu. Nah, and the second one is collocation. Uses related words that typically go together or tend to repeat the same meaning. For example, once upon a time. Jadi itu once upon a time itu udah menjadi satu kesatuan gitu. Nggak bisa dipisah-pisah. Kalau dipisah-pisah menjadi ada beda lagi artinya. Well, guys, in conclusion, the textual equivalence occurs when referring to the equivalence between a source language text and a target language text in terms of information and cohesion. The terms of information and cohesion are reference, substitutions and ellipses, conjunction, and lexical cohesion. And finally, thank you, Mr. Andre, and everyone for listening and watching to our presentation. We hope that what we have shared will be beneficially for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Andre, for watching this video. Thank you, guys.